Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Whoops. Okay, there I am. Sorry, forgot where I was for a moment. Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome to On the Sofa with yours truly, Esther Austin. Gosh, my skin is really pinging today, isn't it? Well, good day to you, good morning, good evening, wherever you are across the globe. Hope you are well. What a week have you had? What a week I've had. As always, it's been intense, but it's also been very good, very good. So, without further ado, I've got a stellar lineup of guests on the show for you this evening. Gerald Alston featuring the Manhattans, but they're not just being featured, they're going to show up today. So, with me, I have David Tyson and also Troy May. David Tyson and Troy May, along with Gerald Alston from the Manhattan. So looking forward to interviewing them and welcoming them onto the show soon. Ooh, I feel like I've got an extra set of teeth today. Apologies. And then also I'm going to be talking to indie artist Babe Wright, who is known as the bad boy of indie soul. And you can see why, because Babe Wright is really rocking the airwaves with his music. You know, this is a man that is driven insanely. So looking forward to having him join me on the show this evening. And then, who else? I've got Darryl Anders from Agape Soul. And he's recently brought out a track some months ago, Nobody But Me, featuring Mesa Link, the legendary Mesa Link. So lots of interesting conversation that's going to happen on the show tonight. And also we've got Joseph Wright. Now, Joseph Wright is the CEO of HVTV. It's an app predominantly for indie artists. So guys, do check that out. Check out the app if you are an indie artist. Check out HVTV. Anyway, without further ado, what I'm going to do is to go over to playing some music. And then on the other side, I'll tell you a little bit about my week. And then hopefully our guests will show up. So you're listening to On the Sofa with yours truly, Esther Austin. I've got a couple of messages already. Whoa, John Hall is there. Hello, John. And also Whittington. Hello, ladies and gents. Hello. Right, so without further ado, I'm going to go over. Oh, my banners. I love this StreamYard because look, you can do lots of great magic on this. Look at that. So look at the scroll going across the screen. Aha. Right. So without further ado, I'm going to go over to playing a track by the Manhattans. And I think, what should I play? Kiss and Say Goodbye? Yeah.
I called you here today for a bit of bad news. I won't be able to see you anymore because of my obligations and the ties that you have. We've been meeting here every day, and since this is our last day together, I called you here today for a bit of bad news. I won't be able to see you anymore because of my obligations and the ties that you have. We've been meeting here every day.
Okay. The Pixies are in the house. They don't want to play Kiss and Say Goodbye. Boo-hoo to you. I'm going to try it a little later. As they say, the show must and will go on. The show must and will go on. So by that, you can tell that I will be talking to Gerald Alston and the Manhattans shortly. So, ladies and gents, how's your week been? You know, my week has been incredible as always. Got Gerald sitting there in the wings. Hello, Gerald. You know, lots has happened. A friend lost her mum this week. It was really interesting. And I'll probably share a bit about that with you later. But all I would say to each and every one of you, these are trying times. And I'm going to say this on every show because I want each and every one of you to find tools that are going to support you as we continue to go through an incredible period in time. Tools that will support you in managing your mental health and well-being. It's so important. You know, as you know, the other side of me, the other hat that I wear, I do lots of transformational stuff. I do a lot of energy work, and it takes a lot of talking to individuals. It takes a lot of supporting individuals, and I will continue to encourage each and every one of you to, whether you speak to someone, whether you pray, meditate, whatever it is, reach into your Mary Poppins bag and find something that's going to work for you. And I don't know about you, but there is an energy of lawlessness that I'm sensing on the streets. There's an energy of fear, then there's an energy of despair. But I would continue, as they say in Cinderella, you know, they say dreams do come true, and dreams do come true, even in the midst of all that's happening. And I've taken to watching on Netflix Black Lightning because I believe I'm a superhero. I don't care what you lot say. I don't care how old I am. I believe I'm a superhero. And I say that because we have to keep our dreams alive. And for me, watching Black Lightning reminds me of all the gifts that I can find within myself, all the gifts that I can delve into and pull out and work on, experiment with, expose. So I will continue on every show to inspire you, to encourage you to just follow your dreams. It doesn't matter what's going on the outside. Continue to follow your dreams, because as part of that process, your dreams will help you come through. So without further ado, and I've got some more messages here, I'm going to bring Gerald. John, he says, I love them guys. I've done shows with them, the boss man. Tell them hello. We were in Atlantic together. I will, John, I will. Right, Gerald, I'm going to bring you on. Yoo-hoo!
Hello, how are you?
I am good. Good to see you always, Gerald. You've grown a bit of a tush.
Oh yeah.
I like it. It looks good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. As they say, it looks good on you. Well, ladies and gents, as I say, I'm talking to Gerald Alston today, and David and
David and Troy.
Yeah, they'll be joining us. Yeah,
they will be.
Fantastic. Well, Gerald, now that I've got you on my own for a few minutes, I tried to play the video of Kiss and Say Goodbye with, you know, yourself and the Manhattans, but it's juddering a bit. So I'll try it later.
Okay.
But if not, I might have to ask you guys to give me a rendition. Is that okay? So Gerald, here's Troy. Fantastic. Right, let's get them all on. Let's add him to the stream.
All right.
Troy.
Hey there. How are you?
I am good. It's so good to have you on with Gerald, because I've interviewed Gerald on several occasions. It's always been a pleasure. And I've met you once, isn't it, Gerald, when I was in New York? Yeah. That was a long trip. That was like the train to China. Because I was coming from, is it New Jersey? I think I was in New Jersey.
Jersey City.
Yeah. So it's a real pleasure to meet you, Troy. You know, you remind me a little bit of the guy that sings with the Whispers. I said you look. I didn't say you sound like him. I said you've got the visage.
Okay.
Tread carefully, Esther. Anyway, well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on the sofa today. I'm going to ask my obligatory question who is Troy in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a crab shell? Who is Troy May?
Troy May is a father, a brother, a singer, a member of the Manhattans. In a nutshell, with the Manhattans going on 28 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And
With that young guy got over there.
With the young guy there. You mean
that's it.
Yeah, that's him. It's really nice because when you said that, Troy, I just felt this real energy, this real connection of honoring when you said I've been with them for 28 years. It's almost like, I've got my Oscar. That's the energy that came through. And obviously each band has their ups and downs. There's never really a smooth flow. But what is it, Troy? And I'm coming to you soon, Gerald. But what is it that you feel has kept you guys together all this time, despite the ups and downs and challenges? Hey, there's Tyson.
Number one, prayer. We all believe in God. Number two, we love each other.
Yeah.
And number three, we love what we do.
Yeah, you can see that. You can see that. I just want to welcome Tyson to the group. Hello, Tyson.
Hello.
Yes,
I'm sorry I'm late. I'm late. I thought it was 4 o'clock.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You're not late. You're not late. We've just started, and I know sometimes the timings get mixed up, but you're not late at all. So welcome, and it's a real pleasure to have all three of you here today. Woo! Mega excited. So Tyson, I was just saying to Troy, I just asked him, and I'm going to ask you the same question. Who is Tyson in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a coconut shell? And then the next question was, what do you think has kept you guys together for X amount of years?
What you asking is who is Tyson?
Yeah, so who is Tyson in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a crab shell?
Well, a guy who sings with the group, which was a dream of his for 29 years, and someone is pushing forward to make sure that we keep this legacy going.
Excellent.
And who's straightforward and easy to. I'm listening to everything that needs to be done. I'm ready to push forward. And you said you want to know what else?
And what do you think has been the thread that's kept you guys together for so long?
Well, what kept us together, what kept me with them so long is, like I said, a dream of mine is being fulfilled. Something I could never have thought or almost even dreamt of this, because this was my group on top of everything, even the groups that my brother had back with the Ethics and even with the Temptations, because my mother used to always take us down to a place in Philadelphia called Uptown Theater.
Yes, I read, yes.
We used to always go there to see the Manhattans. And we went there right before Gerald got in. I was a little kid. I was like maybe 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
Because then we was out, I remember we was out there, and my mom, and I said, Mom, who's that new guy? The young guy over there singing. And it was Gerald. And from there on, that's where my heart been.
Wow.
So when I had the chance, when I was blessed to have this chance, there was no way I could let it go. So yes, I'm here, and I'm also here to help fulfill the legacy. Excellent.
Thank you so much. I really can sense that brotherhood between you all, and it's really good.
Say that one more time.
The brotherhood.
I like that.
And I was saying to Gerald, I really like the tush and the grizzly bits. It's becoming of him, as we say in the UK, very becoming. And Gerald, now I'm going to come to you, my dear. It's like I said, it's just really nice to hear what Troy and Tyson have said. And so for you, just being part of with the Manhattans for so long, but still there's this joy, still there's almost a newness, being part of the group or the brotherhood. I mean, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot because we're continuing that legacy. And, every time, and I'm sure that Troy and Dave feel the same thing, we go on stage, it's a rush. It's a wonderful feeling knowing what we're going out to do. And also is all the years that I've been singing with the guys, it is like who I am. I get a chance to express myself through my songs, through performing for my fans, and as Troy said earlier, most important is God has kept us together. We are keeping the legacy going that the original members did, Blue, Sonny, Kenny, Smitty, and Richard, when they started, and we'll continue that legacy. And it's such a joy. It's such a joy to know that we're able to do that.
Excellent. And I remember the second to last time I interviewed you when I came to New York, and you had just brought out the track. Is it Get It Ready? Get Ready. Apologies. Yeah. And I was teasing Gerald because I'm like, get ready, because I was listening to the lyrics, and I'm like, Gerald, still at your age,
Oh yes.
And he looked at me and said, "Of course, young lady." So I was just putting his leg, but I say that because he talks about the being on stage and being able to express himself, and I believe it's the same thing for you guys. Being on stage, expressing yourself through lyrics that are about love, that are about passion, that are about sensuality, but also that old school type of love. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, who should I address this to? Troy, let me come to you with that old school type of love. And, when you are on stage and when you're performing, where do you go?
I go to for one, the history of that soul music, which is so missing today in a lot of the music we hear. Most of the music we hear today, and I say this often, is basically tunes. There's no real deep love songs. And, it's a difference between a song and a tune. A tune is going to last for a short while. A song will last, look at it. Here we are. The group is now, 50 some odd years off of love songs that are still just as strong as they are when they were first recorded. So that's where I go to that deep love, because that's what the song and the lyrics, is all about.
And the same,
I guess we all go there.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask Tyson the same thing as well.
Yes. Well, the old school songs and the group, we still have a lot of folks that's, my age, a little older, that waits for this, and we have to give it to them when we come. That's what they look for. They come out there in their high top comforts and their Stacey Adams, and a cane, and and so they come out looking for that. So we come out, I may have a cane too. Stacey Adams.
What's a Stacey Adams? What's a Stacey Adams?
They're old. We call them old man comforts. I still got mine. So I love it. I love it. I come out there, with my little pants, my baggy pants, like I said, Stacey Adams, change the uniform, go out there, and I see everybody out there, with their like I said, their canes and their walkers and gray hair, and and I can't wait to give it to them. You know what I mean? Because you know, a lot of the young folks, you know, they into the other thing. You know, that's their thing. But the blessing is that our thing is still out there.
Yeah.
You know, people still want it.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna give it to them every time we come. It's a beautiful thing. I love it.
And you know what? In London, we call that old school. And, you know, old school is still the rage, whether that's London, whether that's Europe. They still love the old school. Because when I mentioned, you know, that I'm bringing Gerald Alston and the Manhattans on, you know, people go crazy. And even there's an artist that's going to be joining us soon. He's an indie artist. And I remember when I interviewed him a couple of months ago, and I said, who's your favorite band? He goes, Gerald Alston and the Manhattans. And I thought, let me see if I can get them on the same platform. Because on the last Sunday of the month, I always interview indie artists, but I always try and have a legend on the same platform as me, because there's something about old school meeting new school. And for a lot of these indie artists, you should see their eyes light up when they're on that platform, and they take that away with them. Because 3 months ago, I had Charles Wright from Express Yourself. He was on with 3 female artists. And they were like, oh my God. That really made their day. And it was just nice to have that crossover conversation between old school and new school, and the guidance and the tips they were given to each other. But also just recognizing each other as legends in their own rights as well, which was really, really powerful. And how have you all dealt with, come through? Because the pandemic, this whole thing is still playing out around us. And that's why, and I'm asking this question because music is therapeutic, music is cathartic, music is healing. And I feel music is what's keeping people sane throughout this. So that's why I asked this question. So how has it influenced, impacted, inspired, affected yourselves? I'll start with you, Gerald.
Well, first I got to say there are 2 parts to this pandemic. The part where people are sick and passing away, that is very, very hard to deal with. But on another hand, it's a blessing because it has given us as artists, as people, to look back and look at our lives and look at who we are and what we're doing, and it's been hard. We just started work after being off over 18 months. Okay. And even with our rustiness, when we get on stage, it's a joy. And our fans let us know that we have truly missed you, and fortunately for us, we were able to release our new CD, which in the pandemic has kind of dampened a little bit, but on the other hand, still performing it and people hear us perform a couple of songs from it. It's a joy, So it's a wonderful thing to be back and to see the response of our fans, seeing how much they missed us and they're looking forward to seeing us again, And we just played Milwaukee this past weekend. And it was, yes.
It went down, did it? It went down, as you guys said.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, what I'm going to do now, gentlemen, is hopefully it's going to play, because like I said, I tried to play the video earlier when it was juddering a bit, but I'm going to play, is it Get Ready? I always get this wrong, and I do apologize.
Get It Ready.
Get It Ready. Okay, and I should know that from you. Leave me alone. Leave me. Right, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to On the Sofa with Esther, and I'm talking to Gerald Alston, David Tyson, and Troy May, the Manhattans. It's a real privilege, and now we're going to listen to Get It Ready.
Hey, baby, I just called to tell you I made up my mind that I'm coming straight home tonight. Listen. Told the fellas I'm not going out tonight. There's something else I'd rather do. So you can light the candles and you can pour the wine, 'cause I'm in a hurry to get home to you. It's been quite a while since we've had this time. so many other things were on our minds. The kids are all gone, now it's just you and I. We don't have to rush, we can take our time. Tonight will be very special. So very special. We can let our imagination go. Go places we haven't been in a while. Relax, kick back, and let it flow. Yeah, get it ready. I'm on my way home. All day long. Nothing else on my mind. Yeah. Please, baby, let's make this an evening we'll never forget. I could hear it in your voice on the telephone. Sweet anticipation, how soon I'll get home. So put on your high heels and your sweet perfume. You know all the things I like to get me in the mood. Been patiently waiting, faithful and true, with nothing on my mind but to get home to you. My body's on fire, deep down within. So meet me at the door, let the night begin. Tonight will be very special. Oh, so very special. We could let our imagination flow. Go wonderful places, baby. Relax, kick back, and let it flow. Yeah, yeah. Get it ready.
I'm on the way. You've been on my mind all day long.
Okay, there we go. There we go. That deep voice, I bet it's yours, Troy, is it? Oh, wow. Love it. Love it. Love it. So is that your latest track that you were talking about, Gerald, or have you got another one since then?
Well, our latest track is She's Coming Home.
Ah, okay. She's coming home.
Yeah.
All right. So while you were getting it ready, she was still on her way home, right?
Yes, indeed. Well, actually, get it ready, is an expression that you want to spend more time with your spouse, with your lady. So, and usually work and hang out with the guys after work. So this time he said, no, baby, I'm coming home to you. So be ready for whatever when I get there.
I'm not going to, it's not after Watershed here.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. And the latest track, what is the story behind that? She's coming home.
Well, the latest track is like, I can take my lady out. Like for instance, like we're performing. I'm just going to use this as a quick example. And she's gorgeous. She walk in the place with me, and the guys are staring and looking. And the minute I go in the dressing room to get dressed to perform, or
they pounce.
Go to the bar, they start slipping her a number or trying to hit on her or something. And the song is like this. You can hit on her all you want to. You can give her your number all you want. You can talk all you want to. But at the end of the night, she's coming home with me.
Woo! Ah! If that was me, Gerald, I'll be walking with my pepper spray, so they wouldn't even have that chance.
Esther.
Oh, brilliant.
That's from our new project, The Manhattans, featuring Gerald Alston. The legacy continues.
Excellent. And one question, because we've spoken about, we've touched on legacy quite a lot. Do you have anybody coming up behind you? There's always been that sort of involvement in the group. You've been in the group 28 years, Troy. Tyson, I think you said you've been with the group 29. How is the group going to? I think you don't know. I'm trying to say evolve. Is there somebody that you think could, maybe step into your shoes at some point? If you had to choose an artist, if I put it this way, if there was an artist out there that you would consider to step into you guys' boots, who would that be if?
You know, even though this person, this artist, is a variety of music, he's very versatile. But after hearing Bruno Mars, if he wanted to, he could continue this legacy. You know,
Popular, isn't he? Bruno Mars is popular.
Leave the door open. I'm gonna leave the door open. Woo!
I can.
Yeah.
I was listening to that all day the other day. I can, because Gerald, Wright, we was talking about doing this. We're getting it together. And I think I can handle it. Gerald come in, do a verse. I was really thinking about that. I was walking.
It's a great thing, and he has captured that audience as well. He's very versatile. He's very talented.
Yes.
He could do a little bit of everything. As you know, talented, there are no new stand-up groups today. When I say today, that there's Boys to Men, there's New Edition sometime. But they're really the stand-up groups of our genre and groups that follow us. They're not non-existent. Non-existent. But after watching Bruno Mars with Leave the Door Open, just it showed me that there is a talent. There is a person that could do that if they truly wish, or if they want to go that far, or he has the ability, just like we do, to groom somebody else to come in to follow up. So,
and as old school artists, we are so grateful to him to reach back and grab that flavor of music and present it to the crowd today. And as you can see, well, for one, not just Bruno Mars, but everybody in his camp.
Yeah.
The other guys that are there with him, unfortunately, I don't know their names, but they fulfill that, that continuation of what we come from. And they've proven that audience is still there.
Yeah,
they are. They are, and a lot of them aren't. As what Tyson said. I mean, a lot of them. You still got that the main old school. But I mean, I was at an event last week in Southend, and they had who was on stage. There was a gentleman called Harry Cambridge. He did an excellent Luther Vandross tribute. He was just off the chain. And then there was Heat Wave. I think there was just one of the original that was from the group, and the rest were sort of standards, if I may say that. And then there was Lamar Omar and Jackie Graham, one of our legends. And you could see the crowd they love old school. They still love old school, and there were parents there with their kids, because a lot of the kids are doing samples as well of these things. And there's something about keeping old school alive. And so that's why I asked that question. Right now, I'm going to introduce this young man. I know you can't wait. Drum roll.
Oh, what's going on? That's so good to see you. You got the mighty Manhattans in the building. What's happening, fellas?
What's happening, man?
How's it going?
Man.
Well, I'll introduce this young man. This young man is known as Babe Wright. He calls himself, what do you call yourself?
You don't know, Esther. Come on now.
The bad boy of indie soul.
All right.
That's what it is. Hey, Esther, thank you so much for having me. Hey, fellas, she brought me on because, first of all, let me just shout out to the new guys of the group. Hey, man, it's a privilege and an honor to meet you guys. You guys are with one of the greatest voices of all time, as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Gerald Alston. So I wanted to show you guys a lot of love and respect off the rip, because I know how it is when you're coming into a situation that's been established for so long. So respect to you, brothers, man.
Thank you.
Mr. Gerald Alston, man, I got to come at you, brother. You've been part of my soundtrack my whole life. My father's one of his favorite groups. I'm trying to tell you. It's an honor, Gerald. How are you, man?
I am doing just fine. Blessed. Truly blessed.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got so many things in my head right now, man. I'm telling you, when I say I go back, I mean, I could sit on my pop's lap listening to Wish You Were Mine, Shining Star, Hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, man. There's No Me Without You. Those are my joints, man. I mean, I'm telling you, I used to play, and this is a funny story. I used to play these records back in the day for my little girlfriends coming to the crib. And they used to be like looking at me like I was crazy. You know, I'm coming up with New Edition and, you know, the guy and all that stuff. But I'm back in the 70s and I'm like, I'll be like, yo, you need to understand what these vibes is really about right here. I thought I was out there. I thought I had me a mistress or something when I hear songs like Wish You Were Mine and all that.
I hear you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, this is a real blessing having all of you on here today. And, you know, and I really wanted to do this for Babe because I knew how much this would have meant for Babe, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
And also just having, like I said, I've interviewed Gerald a couple of times, but having Troy and Tyson on this time as well. And I mean, they've been with the Manhattans. I mean, they've been the Manhattans for 28 and 29 years. So they've been still a long time. They've been with they've been the group for a long time. And, you know, we were talking before, Bay, about, you know, this period in time during this lockdown, still with this, whatever's going on. Yeah. How music is cathartic, music is healing, music is that go-to place for so many of us. And each one of you as artists are bringing that to the people. Because one thing I must say, ladies and gents, about Babe Wright, yes, he is the bad boy of indie soul, but he is driven and he is just spewing out music. I'm going to play some of his stuff as well in between some of your stuff. And he is just spewing stuff out, but also he's driven, and I'm watching his progress. You know, he's doing things in a really big way, and it's nice when, you know, he can draw inspiration from yourselves, and that's why it's a real honor having all of you on here today. Let's see, there's a message. Let's see who's gonna be. Yeah, so Whittington still says music is truly a therapy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play a track by Babe Wright, and then I'll play another one by the Manhattans, Tyson May and David Tyson. Sorry, David Tyson. Apologies, I've been calling you the wrong name. Apologies, Tyson. Huge apologies for my error. David, Tyson, and Troy May. So see you on the other side.
I like the way this sound right here, baby. It's a vibe.
Ain't nothing but a party.
Babe Wright.
Talk to me.
Tell me what you're drinking tonight, girl.
What you drinking, girl?
Anything you want on me.
Anything you want, baby.
I'm just here to have a good time, baby, and live my fantasy.
Let me talk to you, girl.
I got a crew, you got a crew, so what you wanna do, girl? The music is tight, the party is right, the night is still young, baby. I wanna dance, you wanna dance, come on and dance with me and party all night long. Hey girl, I just wanna vibe with you, baby. I wanna get to know you, girl. Hey girl, I said I just wanna vibe with you, baby. I wanna get to know you, girl. You're so sexy, girl. You're really turning me on.
Girl.
Those lips, those hips and thighs, those pretty brown eyes are watching me, baby. So come and get to know me better. I got a crew, you got a crew, so what you wanna do?
I can't imagine life without you. The edge generation.
Been searching for to ride with me.
I see trees of green.
Never never let you go. My baby, they call.
Okay, let's have you all back on. Oh, you're not back on. There we go. Phew. Right. And Troy is back in the house. Troy. Woohoo! Here we go. Oh, this is a real privilege. So this is the other. I think you met Joy before the mini ad. And ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, I am talking to Gerald Alston from the Manhattans, and I do apologize. I've been calling Tyson. Somebody should have corrected me. David Tyson, and also Troy May. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining me this evening. And I'm going to ask all of you, but individually, as I said, we're coming through the pandemic, and I don't think you've answered. All of you have answered. So firstly, is there anything that you've created as you've come through this time, but how has it affected you? I think you had answered, Gerald, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. Troy, how has this affected you, inspired you, influenced you? He's not looking.
Sorry, he can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Okay, I'm going to go over to David.
Yes. How it has affected me. Rough. I was working at one time doing, before I started working, going back to work, he's home every day. Everyone is locked up in the houses. This is even before they started really implementing the face mask. So you had to watch it when you went outdoors. A lot of the businesses were closed, and so for that long period of time, and off of the stage, you know how it hit me.
How?
You want to know? 15 pounds extra. I'm gonna tell you. The other day, I told my wife, I was getting dressed to go down for the show, and I looked in the mirror after I got out the shower. I'm sorry, I don't mean to get loud.
I'm gonna close my eyes.
I ain't never seen my belly lean over my waist. I know Gerald jumped on me. I know I deserve it, but whoa! So that's how it affected me a lot.
Yeah.
So then, now we come back, to the stage. Now it's about getting your body back in shape, mentally and physically.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, and so it's working. It's working, and that break we had really, opened up my head a lot. So I'm good now. I got my shots and everything. Everything's good. So now we just pushing on.
Excellent.
Yes.
And
My
Troy,
volume
your volume's back. Yeah, there we go. So I can ask you the same question, my dear. I mean, David just said that he put on some 15. But you know what, David, right? There's YouTube, yeah? And on YouTube, you have lots of exercise videos.
Yeah, I walk more.
Excellent. Excellent. Taking the stairs is good for your legs and your heart. So well done. I'll check in with you in a week. Fantastic. And Troy, what about you, my dear? How has this whole situation impacted on you?
You know, as to touch on what Gerald said, it's painful, really painful to watch, on the news, and people that's either had COVID or have a family member that's suffering from it or passed away from it. It's absolutely terrible, mind-boggling to see how many people we've actually lost in this process. That it makes you grateful. It makes you, it inspires you to do whatever it is that you're doing, and to pay attention to the little things in life. It's a time to focus on them, and to truly be grateful for the life that you have. And there's people out there really suffering, and we've been really fortunate. All of us sitting here right now in this interview, we've been incredibly fortunate.
Absolutely.
And I'm just so grateful for every day, every moment.
Exactly. And what about you, Bay? How has it? Facebook user, thank you. I've got your messages. I don't know who you are because I can't see who you are. So Facebook user, thank you. But if you can identify yourself, that'd be great. Yeah, because I just see as Facebook user. And thank you to everyone who's leaving messages here as well. Just want to just say, Bay, before we go to you, someone's just say, wow, the Manhattans now. All that's missing are the Shy Lights, and we got a concert going on. Okay. Fantastic. So, Bay, how has it impacted, inspired, influenced you as well?
Well, the pandemic definitely influenced me from a standpoint of my creativity, being locked in since, early 2020. We couldn't go anywhere. So music is just my passion in my life. So I just dug in deep. I was listening to all the oldies, like my favorites, the Manhattans, the Shy Lights, the Delphonics. And Esther, my brand is Soul Nostalgia. So that whole thing with Soul Nostalgia, with the new project Soul Nostalgia 3, it was just the pandemic, me listening to all my all-time favorites and trying to absorb that. So that's how it really affected me. I was just trying to zap all the soul vibes from yesteryear, put my own new contemporary twist on it. And I just kind of went there. And it's been, with all the ups and downs for, everybody personally and people we know, extended family, creativity kind of flourished for me personally.
Yes.
And, I was grateful for that time. And, to spend time with family, people, just call them up, tell them you love them. So that's how it inspired me, just gave me more of a vibe and energy to create, take the bull by the horn, so to speak, and just live every moment, man. So hopefully we'll get out of it. I don't know how it is in the UK. It's fluctuating. It's kind of taking another turn for the worse in America as far as the Delta variant, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, in the UK, it's fluctuating. All I say around this, though, it's interesting times on many levels. And for me, it is about, for us that are dreamers. Here's Darryl as well, though, one more. For us who are dreamers, for us who have the ability to still be able to create, to still dream, to still put things out there, we have to, because then we can inspire into the lives of others. And like I said, I wear another hat, and that hat is I do a lot of stuff in the community on, I would say on a healing level. And I know last year, just people reaching out, and I would do like meditation sessions just to help people find that calm and find that peace, man. And especially there's a lot of youngsters as well who aren't living with parents, and some of them have been in care, and you can imagine that they so for those of us who have the strength to, it's almost it's imbued within us to hold that, stand on that stage, to lift others up or to reach out, because trust me, out there you can see you can look at his eyes and see the madness in the eyes, or there's either the fear or the lawlessness, and you can clearly see that in a lot of people's eyes and energy out there. So one more add.
Esther, can I ask you a question?
You can indeed, yes.
I mean, I know because I know you probably got to wrap up soon, but I wanted to ask, can I ask Gerald 2 questions I have to ask
You
him?
can, you can indeed. You can indeed.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to be respectful of your platform. Gerald, I just have to ask you this, man, as a longtime fan. I've always, again, seen you kind of with a voice in the 70s, I say, between Eddie Levert, the OJs, Teddy Pendergrass, Harold Melvin, the Blue Notes. When you were out there, when y'all were killing them with the gold and platinum, how did the Manhattans fare, in your opinion, against those groups that get, like I said, the OJs get a lot of notoriety, even Teddy? How did you feel? Because you guys were racking up a lot of hits too. Do you feel like you got your just due out there? And 2, I never saw anything from Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff written for the Manhattans that I'm aware of. Did you ever work with those guys?
Let's the first question you asked about those groups that were in the same era. You know, I never felt inferior, and neither did the guys in the group. We held our own, you know. And in that era, we were, even though they had a lot of #1 hits, they had hits, but we've had more consecutive charted records than any of them.
Wow, that's dope.
More charted records in that era than any of them during that time.
Wow.
So we could sing a variety of songs on one album, and we were doing okay. You know, we held our own in a way which I'm grateful to, because we went like this. You know, we'd come down and we'd go back up. Right. And then some of those artists went like this and like that.
Right.
You know, and so we are truly, truly blessed. And I got thrown off. The other question you were asking,
Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, did you guys ever work with them?
Yeah. Well, when I first joined the Manhattans, and we went to Philly International for our deal.
Okay.
To try to negotiate a deal. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. Right. So we went to Columbia Records, and we were able to get producer Bobby Martin, and we were able to work with Bobby freely. Nobody was standing over us. So the situation with that worked out better, you know. Gamble and Huff had a lot of hits. They had a lot of great artists, and they did a wonderful job during the 70s. You know, they were all in, but evidently it just wasn't meant for the Manhattans. You know, so looking at them and what they did a wonderful job, and I can say nothing on other to the opposite of that. But I think it just wasn't meant for us.
Interesting. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I was always wondering about that, because I know Columbia and Philly International all had that CBS backdrop.
Yeah.
But, you know, you guys took your thing and ran with it. Thanks, man.
Okay, gentlemen, I just want to introduce you now we've got a full house today. And if you don't, do you mind maybe another 10 minutes, Gerald, David and Tyson? Is that all right with you guys?
Yes. Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I put you on the spot asking you like this, but I should have done it proud of it. But yeah, because this gentleman is Darryl Anders from Agape Soul, and he's this year he produced a track with Mesa Leaks, and I'm going to play that now. So Darryl, this is Babe Wright, also another indie artist.
What's up, Darryl?
What's happening, man?
Gerald,
everybody.
This is David, and this is Troy. So gentlemen, hello.
Hey.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Hey. What's up, Gerald?
Good.
Yeah, good. So you two got the similar. Where's he gone? Troy's gone. Joe. Oh my gosh, Joseph, another one. Jeez. Right. That's it now. That's it. So this is Joseph, the last one. This gentleman, he's got a really, really strong platform. It's a new platform, but it's for indie artists, and the presentation is absolutely fantastic. So guys, do connect with Joseph Wright, because like I said, he's got a really, really good platform that he can put you all on. So Joseph, this is Gerald Alston from the Manhattans. This is David Tyson from the Manhattans. Been with the Manhattans for 29 years. This is Darryl Anders, and this is Babe Wright, an indie artist. So it's a real pleasure of having all of you back on, and I hope Troy can get back on as well. So what I'm going to do initially is I'm just going to play the track Nobody But Me by Darryl Anders and Mesa Leaks, and then I will come back and we'll continue this conversation, if that's okay with you, gentlemen.
That works.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Nobody But Me.
Nobody but you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I heard a rumor going round about me. People saying that I wanna be free, but it just ain't true. I don't love nobody but you. People are talking, they're wasting their time, making their business what's yours and mine. They got nothing else to do, 'cause they don't love nobody like you. The sound of your voice still rings in my ear. When you're far away, I feel you right here. And when the world spins out of control, your love is the music that soothes my soul. Nobody but you could make me feel this way. Nobody but you till my dying day. Nobody.
Okay, so we're getting a taster of everybody's tracks today on the show. So, after the show, guys, link up with Joseph Wright. Joseph Wright. So, Joseph, just like to say to welcome you as well. It's a real pleasure, and this show is actually streaming on Joseph's platform as well. So, on the Sofa with Esther is streaming on about 4 platforms now. Yeah. Watch this space. So I'm going to ask yourselves some questions individually, because I need to include all of you. Now, Darryl, just tell us a little bit about what was it like working with Mesa Leak?
Kind of a dream come true. She's one of my favorite singers. I'm a big fan of Incognito, as well as her solo stuff. So, it's one of those things where you ask someone to be a part of your song, and you never know how that's going to go. But she was absolute joy to work with. She sang her face off, and she's truly one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my life. So I feel like I have a new friend, and we're just having a ball with this record. So it was great.
Fantastic. And if I may ask all of you, as artists, as musicians, as singers, when you perform, where do you go to? Because like I said, last week, I went to Southend and I saw Jackie Graham perform. I saw Lamar. I saw Omar. Damage. I saw Damage perform. And I was moving solidly for about 6 hours, because I thought I was going to go mad at one time. I thought I was going to fly, because the music was just pinging in my head and in my soul, in my veins. So for yourself as artists, when you're standing in front of a crowd of people, what does it do for you? Where do you go? I'm going to ask David this question first.
Wow. I'm sorry, real quick. I'm sorry. I was moving some letters around. Where do we go as artists?
Yeah, when you're performing, where do you go? What does it do to you to be up on stage? Because I know for myself, as being part of the audience, I was flipping. It's almost as if I had injecting myself with some stuff. so for yourselves as artists, when you're looking at the crowd and you're giving the crowd your gifts, you're in the moment, what does it do for you?
It's like energy. I mean, like I was saying before, you can't wait to go out to give the old folks, the old school music. You ready to give them your 100%, 110%. Well, when I'm out there, what it is like when you hear the crowd, when you hear that sound, especially when we before we go on stage, we do a thing called the overture. Just parts of the songs, the best songs that people like, and you hear the crowd go. Oh, let me tell you another thing. We went to South Africa. When we went to South Africa, oh my God. Sorry, babe. I ain't want to come home. I mean, look. The crowd. Woo! I mean, it was like they never had it before, and it was a blessing. They always listen to our music. So when they had a chance to listen, I mean, man, I was in tears. I mean, I was bawling. I was in tears because we was giving them what they haven't had, and what they used our songs to help them through apartheid. And so I know for them to see us there in person singing their song, it was crazy, man. Do I have time to say one more thing? Something funny.
Yes, you can. Yes.
That's something funny. We had to make it to the van one day, and it was like, oh man, about 5,000 or 10,000 people out there. I mean, we were Zulus, explosives, and so Gerald made it to the van, and so the last ones trying to get to the crowd was me and Blue, and so I'm trying to pull Blue, and Blue like, don't let me go, and the fans was grabbing us, and then. Finally, sorry, Blue's hand went like this. I kept going. I made it to the van, and all you see was Blue's little feet in the air going like this. They was pushing him in the air like. Wow. They was screaming, loving. They was crying. They pushed me. And Blue got to the van. We stand there like, we can't open it up, Blue. And Blue was knocking on the door. Open this door. but we finally got him in. But through the whole time, I was crying, man. I was crying. So when I hear that crowd, it's a joy. It's a joy.
Wow. And what about you, Darryl? When you're performing, where do you go? What does it do to you?
I mean, for me, it's kind of the same thing when you hear and see the audience reacting to your music. There's no better feeling, and that's what the music is about to me. It's about feeling, relating with the audience and having them appreciate what you do. I mean, money and all that other stuff is not as important to me as creating music that makes people feel something. And I think I said to you before, when we came to London the first time, we played at a little club called the Pickle Factory, and it was a showcase for radio. And I'd never played there with my band or my music before. And when we started the first song, everybody in the room was singing along, and just they were one with us on the stage, and there was no greater feeling than that. So that's why we do it. I think when especially as a songwriter, you want people to appreciate what you do and to relate to what it is you're writing or singing about. It's a sharing process. So that's what it's about. It's just sharing and having people love what you do, and it motivates you to want to do it again. Once you get that feeling, it's kind of like a drug. You want to get it again.
Brilliant. And what about you, babe? I'm coming to you, Joseph, in a minute. Don't worry. And I think Troy's trying to get on. I think he's just. Yeah, Troy's trying to get on. And what about you, babe? Because I know that you're just like this.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Being a guy who was like doing the studio thing for such a long time, getting out on stage is just like euphoric watching. You gotta, when you're looking, you can't be a deer in headlights. So when I get out there, I'm looking to see, you know, who's out there. And then it's always difficult because when you're independent, a lot of people don't know your stuff. So the joy for me is winning folks over, performing, turning something that they don't know into something like, hey, you know what? That was pretty good. You know, you get that pat on the back. It's not like the Manhattans that got like 50 hits. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you going out there and Babe Wright. They may have heard you, they may not have heard you, but it's a good, you know, when I get out there, I get good feelings and goosebumps when people go, you know what? I like that song, and they check me out. So that's the rush I get.
Brilliant. And I know, Joseph, you're not, well, I don't know, you may be a musician in your own right, but you obviously deal with a lot of artists on a day-to-day basis. So if you could just share a bit about your platform as well, that would be fantastic.
Oh, great. Well, first and foremost, you know, I definitely want to say it's an honor to be on your show and amongst these legends, you know, who've paved the way for all the artists that we have today, you know, and it's like I said, it's definitely an honor. Actually, one of my favorite songs from the Manhattans is "Summertime in the City." You know, yeah, and yeah, I was just listening to that with my dad the other day, and yeah, it's definitely a song that inspired me. So, but yeah, going back to your question, my platform is primarily for indie artists. You know, I do have, you know, mainstream artists who, you know, who share their content as well. And my platform is to bridge that gap, you know, between old school artists and new school artists. And yeah, it is, you know, definitely been a great experience so far. And the, you know, the numbers is, you know, it's steadily increasing. And, you know, I definitely owe it to you guys, you know, who shared your art with the world and who paved the way, you know, for us. And, you know, it's an honor.
Thank you. And we'll come back to you in a minute. But Gerald, I think, did I ask you the same question about performing? Because, you know, it's interesting because I interviewed the 3 Degrees last week. That was a blast. With the 3 Degrees, all you do is giggle. You giggle, you stop giggling. And then especially Valerie, I had to water her a couple of times. Don't say anything because she just comes in with the most darkest thing and it just takes you. But then there's just humor that they all have, and there's togetherness. And that togetherness is what I see with yourself, Gerald, David, and Troy, that you can clearly see a togetherness. Yes, you have your ups and downs, that's life, but there's a togetherness. And, you know, it's not just your faith, but it's the music, but also what I love about all of you guys as well is it's about sharing your gifts. You know, sometimes you speak to people and it's almost like you're holding on to your gift, man. You're supposed to gift it. A gift is a gift. You're supposed to gift it, give it. And in a way, it's almost sacrilege if you hold on to it like it's mine, like you could control it. It ain't yours, man. You know, you've been given that gift to give and to speak into others' lives. And like I was saying, especially throughout this whole time, you know, there's so much going on outside of in the UK now, there's this thing about gas rises and also petrol. We've got petrol shortages because they don't have drivers. And so people are queuing up. I mean, my sons have been trying to get petrol since yesterday and it ain't happening. So there's just lots of things that people are having to manage at this moment in time, and that's why it's a real privilege when I interview whether you're legends or indie. It's a real privilege because what you're doing, you're creating something that changes people's perspectives. It's almost like they're walking with their Mary Poppins bag and they can dip in and they might pull out a Manhattan, or they might pull out a Darryl Anders track, or they might pull out a Babe Wright, or they might pull out the Stylistics, but it's something that helps you manage, I would say, the chaos or the madness sometimes. You know, you guys contain it, and then sometimes you could just exhale and say, yeah, I'm ready to face the world. You know, seriously. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to thank you for the message by Tony Jazz, by the way, to Babe Wright. Tony Jazz has also said hello to Darryl and the Manhattans. Whittington Steele, thank you for everyone who's leaving messages and honoring these gentlemen that I have on my platform, even down to Joseph, because Joseph obviously had a vision to support people. And you've got to look at his platform. I'm going to put on his little promo. It's kind of cool, man. But what I liked about his platform, it's tight. It's really nicely presented. So, and I think Troy is still trying to get on. It's still thinking, but I'm going to just play his promo and play another track by the Manhattans, and then on the other side we'll come back. So, ladies and gents, you're listening to On the Sofa with yours truly, Esther Austin. Gerald and David, if you have to go, don't let me keep you. But if you have to stay, then that's also fine as well. Yeah, because I know I've kept you on for about an hour now. And
I do have something that I have to run through right now, but thank you for having us on here. Thank you for meeting you guys and the song. Hey, y'all have that driving music. I was listening to it. I was like listening to it and thinking myself driving. Oh, I love it. I love it. All y'all. Hey man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Be blessed.
Esther, before you jump in, before Gerald goes, I want to give him some flowers, the Manhattans, but I want to say something that was always on my heart. He was one of the guys, in my opinion, it's always hard to come into a group that's already been established. Gerald and Cuba Gooden, main ingredient, the Manhattans. Gerald came into a group that was already there and took it to me, 5 levels higher throughout the 70s and 80s, bro. You know you did that, man. Like you said, you wasn't intimidated in the 70s. You were one of the greatest, and I just want to thank you and the Manhattans for being so great, man. But like I said, you were one of the few that took another group that was already there and just took it to the next level. Then you went solo with Slow Motion. And I know my stuff, man. So God bless you, man. You got to get your flowers, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's 3 sets of flowers. 1 for Gerald, 1 for David, and 1 for Troy. Okay, we'll hold you to it.
That'll work.
Thank you.
All right, brother.
All right, thank you so much, David. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to play out the trailer for HVTV. That's the platform that Joseph has created. And then we're going to come back and play a little bit more, play a little something from Darryl, a little bit more something from Bay. And Gerald, if you can, you can. It's a real privilege. If you can't, it's still a real privilege. Troy is still trying to get on. But we'll be back on the other side.
If you know the song, sing with us. Come on. Upstairs, let me hear you. Sing it again with feel, everybody. Ooh, let's try just the ladies. Come on. Man, that's sweet. One more time, ladies, just for me. Come on. All right, fellas, your turn. Just the fellas. Come on, man. That's only 12 of you. Come on, fellas. That's a little bit better. Help them out, ladies. Everybody. All right, let me tell you a little story. You know, let's go back to 1976. How many of you remember 1976? All right. Well, back then, quite a few groups had some wonderful hit songs. The Commodores, the OJs, the Whispers.
Okay, right, gentlemen. Oh, do I have to put you back on? Where are you? Can't see ya. Can't see ya. There you go. There you go. I would have liked to have played that, but I thought it would have kicked in with the music a little more. But, you know, did you feel the vibe? Did you feel the vibe in there?
Absolutely.
You felt the vibe, and you know, that reminded me. I remember about 4 years ago, I went to Vegas. Is it Vegas? Yeah, I went to Vegas because I had interviewed Little Anthony from the Imperials, right? And I remember, I think it was March, and I was talking to him. He goes, "Well, young lady, you know, if you get yourself to Vegas in June, I'm going to be in Vegas." I'm like, I said to my boys, "Bring the credit card. I'm going," right? Because, you know, when you've got an opportunity, sometimes you've got to make it happen no matter what. I don't care if I eat once a day. I'm fine. I'm fasting the rest of the time. If I have to walk it, I will walk it. And I got there, and Troy can't get on. I got there, and, you know, it was almost like seeing that perform what you were doing, Gerald, just having that old school feel.
Yeah.
And then they did the moves. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then he sang. And then in between that, they, you know, he did his jokes. But then when they sang, I just felt I was transported back to the time. So just watching you there sort of brought back that feel of that time. And that's powerful. Yeah. That's powerful to capture an audience all these years. You said you've been, what, 54 years, Gerald?
59. The group is
59.
And I got 51 years of those 59.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, the music from that time is what allows us to do what we do. I mean, that's the music I grew up on, and the way that music made me feel is what I try to replicate in my own songwriting. You know, like so much of what we hear in mainstream pop and even soul and R&B music right now is. Yeah. It doesn't have a lot of substance, and that's my personal opinion, and people can get mad at me. But, you know, when I think about the Manhattans and the Dramatics and the Commodores and those guys, they wrote songs that made you feel something. They related to your life, right. And it you know, it's the soundtrack of your life. So
yes, I love that.
I want to create music that's doing the same thing. And the one thing I got to say about indie artists, and I think they will agree with me, is that we are a community that supports each other. I feel like in this last few years, I have all these great friends that I can reach out to, and people aren't afraid to share and support each other's music and their vision. You know, when I see Bay's got a hit song, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give the brother props because he's doing great work. I'm not feeling threatened because somebody else is doing great. Like, we're all on this journey together, and you know, I think we learn from each other and hopefully move this needle farther, because I think indie artists are trying and succeeding in writing real music that matters. It's not just, you know, I always say 2 notes does not a melody make, you know.
Yeah. But you know, I agree with you wholeheartedly, because that is what has made us survive for 59 years.
That's right.
I've worked with Marvin Gaye, Dells, The Temptations, Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells, Stephanie Mills, The Emotions, you name them, we worked together. Mm-hmm. And all of our competition on stage was positive competition.
Yeah.
We would go on stage and say, we'll do our best. So they would have to take the next step up.
Yes.
And I remember working with Gladys Knight in the pits, and we had just recorded The Way We Were. And I was going to do it in the show, but she had recorded it. So I went down to her dressing room and I said, Gladys, do you mind if I do The Way We Were in the show? She said, I'm not doing it. She said, and I would love you to do it. She said, because anytime that you all go on and perform and raise the bar, that means I got to come out and raise the bar. And she said it with a compliment that each one helps the other one go to the next level. And that's what we're doing, And we always had that kind of competition on the road when we were working with different groups. Of course, there were a few that were to the left, but the majority of the artists that we worked with, we would go on stage and we would say to each other, yeah, we're going to burn you up tonight. We're going to do this. So the other artists go out. Whoever came behind us had to pick it up and take it to the next level. And they would. It was like nobody would sham. They'd come out and do it. We supported each other. We'd stand in the wings and clap our hands and support you while you're on stage and doing the things.
It makes you better as a musician, as an artist, when you feel like the people that are in it in the same career path as you, like they support you and lift you up. I mean, it just makes you better.
Yes, it does.
You know what, Esther? Piggybacking on what Gerald and Darryl are saying, one of the things I learned from groups like the Manhattans as an independent is the perseverance and tenacity. Because if you really look at the history of music, guys like the Manhattans, they had iterations. The 60s with Follow Your Heart. Then they went to the 70s, and then like Crazy, that was a big hit for them in the 80s, and then Slow Motion in the late 80s, and they're still doing it. And this is not an easy journey. When you're independent, you don't have Columbia or Warner Brothers behind you. You got to ask yourself how much you really love this game, how much you want to grind, man. So the money that it takes, the relationships you have to build, the time to write the right songs, meet the right people, build, keep building. Because a lot of people today, they want that microwave success. Yeah. When I look at the Manhattans and the Dells and those groups, they was out there toiling for years before they even got one real hit, and then it took off, and I see Gerald shaking his head because that's the game. And for me, guys like Darryl, we just keep grinding, and it's starting to work and pay off. And again, I'm just so proud to see. Is it Troy? Is that the brother's name here?
Yeah, Troy.
When I see Troy, I see Gerald. I know how much time and energy and effort and the years they put in the game. So guys like, when I talk to Darryl, he's over on the West Coast in the Bay Area. We connected like a year or two ago. He made a great video with Mesa Leak. And one of the first things I did, yo, man, that's a great visual, man. That's a great record. Congrats. He hit me back. Yo, keep doing your thing, brother Bay. I see you too. So that perseverance, that tenacity, that never give up. Again, that's what I learned from groups like the Manhattans, who been, like he said, almost 60 years in the game, as Gerald said. That is a heck of an accomplishment. And again, those hits from decade to decade, I don't think most people are built for that today, but that's what I try to take from those guys.
Yeah,
thank you.
Troy, let's hear a little something from you as well. You've been with you said the Manhattans for 28 years, and that in itself is a longevity in itself. So, following on from what Bay said, having that drive and that tenacity. But, when we initially spoke, what I feel has kept you guys going, you said, is the love of music, is your faith, and the brotherhood. Yeah, does it still sound the same, Troy? The brotherhood. Is that good? That deep enough? Following on from what Darryl and Bay has said, what's your take on that thing, this whole thing of perseverance? Because I know yourself, Joseph, as well. People like us who aren't really necessarily in the, but it's just like, So Troy,
it's a love affair. If you truly love what you do, you can't help but do this. You can't help but stay in the grind. Before Blue passed, he was, there were moments where he was really frail and sick, but he still went to the stage. And it was amazing to watch him walk that path to that stage, knowing he didn't feel well. Sometimes he was backstage and he would tell Gerald and I, look, I'm not feeling well or whatever. Or I feel like I may not be able to stand the entire show. And he'd still come out there and do that show because it's in your blood. This is what we've been doing for so long. Me, 28 with the group, Gerald over 50, Blue, 60 some odd years. You can't help it. And when you're out there and what you get from that audience, to be honest with you, you're making love to the audience. That's what you're doing. It is a true love affair. And you look forward to that. And the more you get from that audience, the more you want to give.
Yeah.
So you are truly making love to that audience.
Wow, that's a good way to put it.
It's one thing that I like to say that I carry with me all the time. And this is something that a lot of the young artists need to learn, to be humble and to accept.
Oh, yeah.
Realize that you aren't doing the audience a favor by performing for them. They're doing you a favor by coming to see you perform. So you're supposed to put it out there and give it to them each and every time. That's what keep us going, because our fans keep coming, and giving us that opportunity to show what we can do,
Right.
And that's something I always carry with me. I always carry that with me.
That's
well, Facebook fans and Instagram likes don't buy tickets.
They really don't.
That's a false equivalency. Like they're not buying your record. They're streaming your record. They're not coming up to your shows necessarily, and that's how you know what people think of you when they spend their hard-earned money to come see you. You owe them the best that you got.
Right.
That's right.
Because you wouldn't be there otherwise, and that's why I think you have to work harder to put together the best show you can do. I hate seeing, I'm all for communicating with the artist, but when you see an artist that's talking more than they're performing, it's like I came to hear the song. I mean, let's have some dialogue, but you want to see people perform and get that feeling from them. So I always try to put my best foot forward. Always try to play as well as we can, better than the record. If you got a hit song and your hit song is the song that's not quite hitting up, go back to the rehearsal room.
That's it.
You
got to come out there and punch people in the throat every time.
Right. That's it.
I've seen some artists that I really love come out and give kind of a half-ass show. That's not acceptable, because you may not get another chance. You never know when the last opportunity is going to be. So I'm trying to come out as strong as I can. I'm super inspired by all of you guys. I remember when I first started doing the indie thing, Bay was one of the first people that I saw. I'm like, this brother's out here grinding. I don't know what he's doing, but he's grinding. And I reached out to him, and he gave me good advice. He gave me good counsel. And I feel like I can call him anytime. And there's so many people like that. So especially with Black people, we got to support each other.
Yes.
Right.
We got enough people trying to hold us down. When we support each other and lift each other up, there's no stopping us.
That's right.
But when infighting is that stuff's got to stop.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I go out of my way to support my own people whenever I can and however I can.
Yeah.
Esther, when I see what you've done, let me take a minute to give you a shout out, because you've done a fantastic job. Me as an independent artist and just an entity, I'm out here grinding like Darryl said. But for you to bring Troy and Gerald, for me and And you know, Darryl, just to be here, it's just amazing what you've been able to do to bridge the gap between major artists, independent artists. You're in the UK, we're in the United States of America. I just love the way that technology is also playing a big part in the whole movement of soul music and music in general. This is a fantastic situation. I mean, when I'm finished with this interview, I'm gonna call my dad and say, "Yo, you ain't gonna believe I was on the phone with him." I'm telling you, he gonna lose it, because I still remember. He's gonna say, "I said, Dad, you remember that album cover? I was mesmerized when the Manhattans, I think they must have been in Midtown Manhattan, coming out the manhole. Y'all remember? You know what album I'm talking about? That album mesmerized me as a kid." He said, "How did all them guys get into that manhole like that?" But he's gonna crack up. But just the whole vibe, Esther, you've done such a fantastic job. I just want to thank you before I forget, because you know I got a lot of emotions and things going through my head, being with Darryl and the Manhattans. And what's my brother's name? David?
David, yeah.
Nice to meet you as well. Yeah. It's just like, Esther, you have to, I'm seeing your hustle and your grind. Turning Point Magazine, thank you for featuring me on the cover. It looks good. I appreciate that. And, you know, hey, man, as an independent, all I can say is we're making things happen. And again, groups like the Manhattans that take their time to come on to these platforms, independent platforms. I want to thank you guys, man. It means a lot to me personally that you guys, I know you guys are busy, man, and you guys got a lot of history. It feels good to be able to say, hey, at least I'm on the right path, and I got to meet Troy and Gerald Alston from the Manhattans. I got my man Darryl. You doing big things over there. I'm looking forward to your platform as well, David. I'm sure we'll talk behind the scenes.
Joseph.
Joseph. I'm sorry, Joseph. I keep saying Joseph. Yeah, man. So again, Esther, thank you so much, because you're doing a hell of a job bringing all the artists from coast to coast, country to country together. So keep doing what you're doing as well.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
He said a mouthful. I couldn't have said it better, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, because we need this, and for our fans to know that we're still here.
Yes.
We're still singing. And, you know, you've opened that door and made it possible. And
that's it.
We are so grateful to you. You know, anytime, just let me know. And
I got you on speed dial. Don't worry about that.
You know, it's one thing else that I did want to say, because I'm going to have to leave too. But you, the independent artists, Bay, Darryl, Joseph, you guys are doing what I was taught. And the difference is that now you have social media.
Right.
When I first got with the Manhattans in 1970, we were just signed with Deluxe label. And we met this promotion person. His name was Bob Rowley, one of the best promotion men I've ever worked with. I mean, I worked with a lot of people, and they were all good. I'm not taking anything from them, but I learned more from him than any of them. He told us, he said, fellas, the best way to sell the Manhattans, you don't have money to do what you have to do to pay whatever was going on in that era. He said, you got to sell yourself.
Yes.
He played every juke joint you can think of, from Atlanta, Georgia, down to Tallahassee, Florida, down to Miami, over to Mississippi, Alabama, Texas. And just from playing in those places, we played those small little towns where people would come and pay $2 or $3 to see us perform. Literally juke joints. And we did that for years, up until 73, 74. And when we released Kiss and Say Goodbye, just before we released Kiss and Say Goodbye, we had the opportunity to play with James Brown. Every year at the Atlanta Braves Stadium, he would do a Labor Day show. And we performed there with him. And it was the year Kiss and Say Goodbye came out. There were busloads of people that came from Tallahassee, Cordell, Georgia, Macon, Georgia, Thomasville, Georgia, Tallahassee, all the surrounding areas to see us perform. And when we talk to different people, because we had a meet and greet and we had a chance to talk to some of those people, and they were saying, we took a bus up here to see you. We got a bus load of people. They said, because you came and supported us and played these little bitty clubs and gave us your music and shared your music with us. So now it's time for us to give back to you. Wow. And it made me feel good. And this is what I'm saying about you guys. You guys are doing it. You're doing it yourself. The best way you can make it to the top. I don't care about nothing else. You got to sell yourself. And just like you said, Darryl, when you walk on that stage, you got to give it 110% every time. You said something, Bay, about selling a song, a new song. If you go out there and you sell that song right, whether anybody heard it or not, if you go out there and you sell it right, you're going to get some response from it. Yeah, being right. If you're singing songs that people performing songs that relate, vibe, and the song with Mesa, the minute I heard it, it took me right there. So I know what it's all about. So when you perform songs like that grab the audience, great hook, great lyrics, and you give it to them the way you're supposed to give it to them, with your heart and soul, there's no way in the world that they can reject it.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, girl, I gotta say, Kiss and Say Goodbye is one of the greatest songs ever written. That song came out when I was in maybe a freshman in high school. I didn't know what that feeling was like in real life, but man, it's like somebody just reached into my soul. That is a amazing song. It's one of the songs that made me want to be a songwriter.
Thank you.
You know, songs, write songs that just touch people's hearts. You know,
Blue did a wonderful job with that song. He did a wonderful job with that song.
Yeah, that's amazing too. I mean, just like everything. I mean, you guys are the gold standard. There's no question.
Yeah. Thank you.
And do you want to do Do you want to harmonize something before you go, Troy and Gerald?
I don't know if it's not in sync. You know, we won't be in sync.
It won't sync.
No.
I know.
We tried that several times on other platforms.
With all the technology, they can't get that right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
but I just want to say, Gerald, thank you always for your time. Yes, if anything else comes, I will hook you up because it's important. It's important for me to have that, like I said, that old school, new school crossover. But also, there's something when you bring people together. You know, I had some months ago, I had someone called Diane Mathis on, and the Emotions, and Lloyd G. Williams, who was the original voice of Shout. For some reason, I got my times wrong, and they all showed up on the inside together. And I brought them on, and you should have just seen the acknowledgement, the honoring there. The oh my gosh! And also when I had the Whispers, the Ebonies, Jimmy Thomas, who used to perform with Ike and Tina Turner, and who was it? Yeah, the Whispers, the Ebonies, Jimmy Thomas, and it was like the Ebonies. After their session, they wanted to stay on, and they were like, man, to the Whispers, when you come to Philadelphia, then the Whispers was saying to Jimmy Thomas, man, what was it like with Ike and Tina Turner? And I just sat there, I was sweating because you can just see this, legends honoring each other, but also and understanding the journey. And then another one where I had on was and it just went down a storm. I think it was with Sister Sledge, and I can't remember who else, but it was just this platform of everybody just recognizing each other, honoring each other, and saying, yeah, we'll support each other. And so even with Joseph, what Joseph has done has put that platform for both indie artists as well as established artists. So if you can tell us a little bit more about that, then I'm going to go over and play I'm going to play another track by Bay, He Can't Love You. I've also got one of your old ones, Darryl, Believe in Love, because I was listening to that from 2015.
First record.
So, yeah, but just tell us a little bit more about your platform. Gerald, whenever you need to go, then, thanking you so much. And I'm gonna see you in the States again. It's gonna be a little easier to get you this time, right? Because I'm flying in.
Gerald, thank you so much. I know you're about to drop off soon. It was an honor and a privilege, man. You made my day. Esther, thank you for bringing this to fruition for me, man. You're one of the greatest of all time, still out here doing it, man. I'm in the DMV area, so when you come back to the Birchmere, wherever you guys, I know you were here recently and I missed it, but I'm going to catch you the next time, brother.
October 15th, we'll be at the Birchmere.
Oh, that's what I saw. I saw it. I thought I missed it. All right. I'll be there, bro.
You bet.
Thank you, man. Thank you,
All
John.
right.
Take care.
God bless
So
you.
good to
All
meet
right.
Okay.
Bless. All
Thank
right, I'll be
you
in
all.
touch.
Take care. God
Thank
bless.
you. Bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there's another 20 minutes before the end of the show. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go over and play a track by Babe Wright, He Can't Love You. And then, like I said, there's a 2015 track from Darryl Anders called Believe in Love. Believe in Love. So you're listening to On the Sofa with yours truly, Esther Alston. I have Joseph Wright from HVTV. Thank you, Joseph. Got Gerald Anders. Thank you, Darryl. And I've got Babe Wright. So I'll see you on the other side.
No resisto este deseo que me consume, que me tiene encendida. Este fuego por dentro que siento cuando estás cerca de
Girl, it's been a long time since I got to call you mine. Thinking how you used to be my girl. It's been a while since you've been gone, and things ain't been the same at home. What's it gonna take to get you back with me, girl? It's so good when we're together, just loving and cuddling, just laying up, doing nothing. It's so good when we were together. No fussing, no fighting. I love her so exciting, girl. He can't love you, baby. He can't love you, girl. He can't love you, baby, like I do. He can't love you, baby. He can't love you, girl. Girl, I know that you love me and you want me to.
situation. Tell me where it hurts.
Nice. So yeah,
Thank
I,
you.
I mean, I was going through your going through YouTube. It's like, oh my gosh, I got half an hour. I need to download, and then I came across that. I'm like, nice. And then nice.
Should have kept that going.
I was the time because gentlemen, what I would just like to say is, it's just been a real honor having all of you here. And Joseph, I'm going to have just let you say a little bit more as well, because you know about the grind as well. I know about the grind. Yeah. And the thing is, like I said, some people say either I'm a Rottweiler or there's those little dogs, that just and a lot has happened, especially over the past few weeks. I don't want to go into, but a lot, and I've just had to just get my mind. It's just like, okay, I just got to keep going. I just got to keep going, because it's to show others that it can be done, but what it takes, and are you prepared to do what it takes? Because sometimes when you're sleeping, I mean, I was so tired. Like I said, I went to Southend last week to this gig. I was, as press, I was mad tired. But when the music kicked in, I was doing a James Brown. I was doing a Fred Astaire because the music was just kicking in. And for some reason, I found the energy just to keep going. And it was a release as well. So, music is therapeutic. So, Joseph, we've got literally about 10 minutes left. So if you can just share a bit more about your platform and how artists can come on and contact you, all those wonderful things.
Yeah, absolutely. So my platform's HVTV. It's a platform for indie artists of all ages. Like I always tell my artists, it's the cathedral for music artists, and just basically, just building that platform where we can all share our content. Whether you're old school artists, new school artists, and even on the sofa, with Esther, she's able to share her content on my platform as well. So it's basically that community to where we can all come together and just be about music, and the platform is available for Apple and Google Play Store. So, you're able to download that and set up an account and, just enjoy the music, and like I said, it's for all ages, and I'll be more than happy to give you guys some more insights after we get off the show. And website to learn more, you can check me out at www.humblevibeproductions.com. And yeah, it's a great opportunity to connect and network with other artists as well.
Excellent.
I was going to say, one of the things that I find interesting is people, as Agape Soul becomes more popular and more people see it, people ask me, like, how did you do that? Like, what did you do? And I always tell them the same thing. You got to invest in yourself before you can get anybody else to invest in you. Nobody's going to come up and hand you a bag of money and say, we want to make you a star. That doesn't really exist anymore. And if it did happen, basically you just sold your soul, because you don't have control of your art. So first of all, you have to be prepared to invest in yourself, and the investment is gonna hurt. But through that growing process, you learn so much. I mean, I feel like I grow as a songwriter and a producer on every record. No one is above growing and getting better. And I want to keep getting better, and I want to keep getting motivated by all of the guys that I grew up and listen to, and the new people that are coming out. And we all have our own path. It's a waste of time getting upset because somebody else is doing something you're not. God has a path for each one of us, and you got to follow that path. So I'm just really appreciative of you. Our mutual friend in the UK, when I told him I was looking to expand some things, he goes, "You should reach out to this lady." And we connected instantly, and I feel like I have a friend and an ally in you, and I want to do everything I can to support your brand and your project, just like you were doing for all of us. And the same with you. I'm going to check out your information as soon as this is over, and we just got to keep supporting each other, because nobody's going to do it for us.
No doubt about it. I echo that as well, what Darryl just said, it's independence. And, Esther, you guys, you're looking, I like the way you want to help everybody, but in a sense, I believe people have to help themselves to get that help. And so I like to be very particular in who I'm kind of affiliated with, like, on the sofa with Esther, Turning Point Magazine, top of the line. So I'm honored and privileged to be able to grace your cover, to do these podcasts with you, because again, Darryl, when I see him going number 1, top 5, top 10 consistently, I like to be in that company. And if you can mix that in with the Manhattans, the Johnny Gills, the Stokeleys, because one thing I learned about this game, it's all about branding, man. It's like, I remember a story when I used to be hustling CDs, man. I used to be, in the mom and pop stores. People would say, yeah, that's cool, babe, that's nice. But when they see you on Amazon, Best Buy, the whole energy changed. It was amazing. Now I could be making $7, $8 a record with the mom and pop, only $3 or $4 with Best Buy. But they'll go and bring it to the UK, like the HMVs and stuff like that. But I had to learn a valuable lesson. It was the lesson between, do I want to make just the money and be in the smaller venues, or do I want to kind of balance it out, take a little less on the back end just to have the bigger brand? Because when you're dealing with the psychology of people, human beings, they don't understand business like we understand it. So I had to juggle that. But you do what you do. Again, I like the fact that you're meshing the top independents with the legends, because it makes your platform grow. You can't just have any artist scrub out there, because I don't want to. I'm just gonna be real. I don't want to be affiliated with that, because I work too hard to try to rise up to a certain level. So I appreciate what you guys are doing. And I'm looking forward, brother, to your situation. I'm going to check you out, and we're going to see what we do. But this is a great experience, and keep doing what you're doing, Esther. I'm really feeling the flavor. Can't wait to meet you over here on the USA soils.
Definitely. I'm planning that out. And I just want to say, we've literally got 8 minutes left to the shows, and I've got a couple of videos that I want to play out. But I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you. And like you're right. It's like, Anthony Williams of the station, he always talks about levels. There are levels. And I know lots of people want to come on and whatever, but I am selective, or I would say I'm divinely inspired or divinely guided. And I always say, because I remember talking to an artist some months ago, and I just know that we're all hustling. Okay, but I ain't stepping on nobody's back. And I said, I'd rather I can walk down 10,000 people on my own if I have to. I ain't stepping on nobody to get there, because my path is my path. If you want to step on somebody to get, that's you, man. That's your karma. It ain't mine. I ain't doing it. And that's just me. That's just me. I'd rather walk on my own, and I've got no qualms about that. So, all of us are hustling, but all of us are getting someplace, and it is that collaborative effort. And it's been a pleasure having you on the front cover. I'm going to send I would say by Tuesday, get it off to the designers. It's a lot of work. You think you've done it. I'm like, but, it doesn't matter, because you just keep going. And where the magazine is positioned now, I've got it in some key places in the States. They're going to put it in some places for me. And so I'm being like this. I've been like this. So Joseph, I'd just like to say thank you for joining us on this platform. I'm going to send an email and connect you guys together after this. And then also we got a new music show coming out next month. So I'm going to play the ad for that. Just like to say thank you to everyone who's been on. Sophie, thank you for joining us. Someone says happy Sunday. Guys, sometimes from this end, I can just see Facebook user, but I can't see who's actually left the message. So I don't know, it might be something to do with your settings, but thank you, Facebook user who says happy Sunday, everyone. Just wishing you all a great week. And as I keep saying, as we go through these times, what's in your Mary Poppins bag, whether that's prayer, whether that's meditation, whether that's music, just to help you keep sane as you come through. Hold on to your dreams, follow your dreams, and just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward and keep inspiring. And on that note, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a couple of ads out of the show. And so I'll see you same time, same place next week. And just to say, next week I've got KJ, and I can't remember the other artists. And the week after I've got someone from the Spinners and Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. So as they say, watch this space. Ain't no stopping me now.
That's it.
Okay, so I'm gonna play the adverts, a couple of adverts out, if I can find them. And I'd like to say thank you to you gentlemen again.
Got me going somewhere else. And you can say that I can try with you. I really hope you're doing well.
What we gotta do for distance, these new laws.
But somehow, trust me, I got next.
My soul, she dey do me, yo. I just like the way she did.
Same, no, there's nothing I won't do. So make it and get a minute with you, baby. You look so good today.
You take me to that other place. Wanna spend forever and a day.
Catch On the Sofa with Esther each and every Sunday between 8 and 10 p.m. GMT, where she'll be interviewing the finest artists from the past and present, garnished with quality music. So that's On the Sofa with Esther each and every Sunday between 8 and 10 p.m. GMT, right here on LN Soul Radio, where Neo Soul, R&B and chat lives.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of another show. See you same time, same place next week. And guys, just keep on trucking, keep on connecting, and we just do what we do best.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes. And Jazzy K Ward to Darryl says, Darryl, truth. So, and thank you all for those who joined me tonight. Blessings. Take care.
Blessings.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.